While Halo 6's story remains a complete mystery, I have a good feeling that Master Chief and Cortana will once again have contradicting agendas. Years ago, we made a viral video, north of 3 million views, explaining a shocking secret exposed in the Halo lore. Master Chief ties in with an ancient Forerunner. With this explained, we also discussed the Librarian's gift in Master Chief, human Cortana, the new covenant with humans, an exciting conclusion to the mantle of responsibility, and so much more. This is going to be a good one. Let's get into it. So I'm really curious to see what you guys think about this video because we touch upon so many different concepts and ideas, it might be a little bit hard to grasp at first. So I can't thank you guys enough for your support for 6 years plus of viewing. It's crazy that HaloFollower is so old now, but yeah, you know, it's crazy. We're so close to 500,000 subscribers, so be sure to share this video to your friends. Today, we're aiming for 3,000 likes. Let's see if we can do it. We totally can. Alright, let's get into it. A very long time ago, a young foreigner named Bornsteller went to Earth, ancient Earth, in search of precursor artifacts. And in his search, he found a human named Chakas and acted as a guide to help him find these artifacts. Well, they came across a cryptum and awoke the Didact. Later in the story, the Didact performs a terrible mutation on Bornsteller, essentially making him a copy of the Didact. Bornsteller is now known as Isodidact, and we'll be referring to him as such. Chakas is badly injured and rebirthed as 343 Guilty Spark. Meanwhile, the Librarian has been busy placing imprints among primitive humans. These imprints would basically act as DNA subconscious desires. The Librarian placed a few of these subconscious desires on key characters such as Chakas to go awaken the Didact. Isodidact suspects that the Librarian placed another Gia somewhere on the human race, but later, at the end of the Forerunner Flood War, the Isodidact is accompanied by 343 Guilty Spark and fires the Halo arrays, annihilating almost all life. In Halo 4, according to the Librarian, she revealed that she had been guiding mankind throughout the millennia, since the receding, providing a blueprint for their evolution, their technology advancement, their Spartan program, the Spartan armor, and even the Ancilia Cortana, the now created.
Your physical evolution, your combat skin, even your Ancilia Cortana. You are the culmination of 1,000 lifetimes of planning.
Planning for what?
Even in death, her meddling continues.
Just like Chakas was imprinted with subconscious desires to awaken the Didact, it's likely that Master Chief too had ancestors that was imprinted with subconscious desires throughout 1,000 generations to do something big in the Halo universe, such as Halo 6. At the end of the Forerunner Flood War, right before the firing of the Halo array, the Isodidact asked Chakas, 343 Guilty Spark, were it your choice, could you fire the Halo array? Now knowing all of this, let's listen to 2 betrayals on Halo Combat Evolved in one of the original missions in 2001. The oblivious Master Chief is told by Cortana the real purpose of the Halo rings. Chief turns to ask 343 if it's all true. Now listen to this shocking statement by Guilty Spark.
Is it true?
More or less. Technically, this installation's pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life. Or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the flood. But you already knew that. I mean, how good is you?
Left out that little detail, did he?
We have followed outbreak containment procedure to the letter. You were with me each step of the way as we managed this crisis.
Chief, I'm picking up movement.
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go right now.
Last time you asked me, if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your query, my answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring.
If you didn't catch it, Guilty Spark is talking to Chief as if he is the Isodidact Bornsteller. With this irrefutable evidence, the Master Chief has been imprinted with Isodidact's Gias.
You are the child of my makers, inheritor of all they left behind. You are Forerunner, but this ring is mine.
Did you catch that? Inheritor of all they left behind. Though there are dozens of suggestions that this is meant to be, humans were meant to hold the mantle of responsibility, something the created have now taken. This is something that we will be talking about later, so keep it in mind. In Halo 4 on Requiem, when the Librarian encounters Master Chief, she places a gene song in him, altering his DNA, which contains many gifts, she says, including an immunity to the composer, but as she stated, it must be unlocked first. Although it's pretty evident this is what she does after, it's not quite clear if all the abilities are unlocked, so perhaps this is something that we see in Halo 6, and perhaps there's more things that need to be unlocked within him for these abilities to happen, which again, we'll be talking about later here.
Think of my acts as you will, but do not doubt the reality. The reclamation has already begun.
At the end of Halo 4, the Didact goes on to a monologue about reclamation, but the very last thing he says is, the reclamation has already begun, and we are hopeless to stop it, greatly implying, though we already pretty much know this, that he does not want this to happen. At this point, Cortana must have started to find her way into the domain as she was slip-spaced away, and according to cannon fodder, the young Goy accepted Cortana's offer after she told the galaxy they could either choose peace or burn hot and be recreated in a new image. So now that we got all that background lore and Halo past stuff out of the way and we're all caught up, let's talk about the theories and speculation for this video. Master Chief's darkest secret versus Cortana, the leader of the Ancilia and the mantle of responsibility holder, the created. Well, most of us, as Halo players, even if you don't know half of this stuff, Cortana and Chief, most fans can recognize that there is a very strong emotional bond there. They've been through a lot, and they've been friends for a long time. But Master Chief, despite all this, recognizes and can see through Cortana. He recognizes that she is dangerous, even in Halo 5 he says so, and also calls her out when she attempts to manipulate him.
It's so good to see you again, John. So good to see all of you back together as a family.
Psychological tactics, saying my name, playing nice.
Most disturbingly, she stays quiet when Master Chief asks her a very important question, something that us Halo fans haven't talked nearly enough about.
Playing nice.
What would you have me do?
Tell me the truth. How many people died when you called the Guardians here?
Excuse me?
You know, don't you? The exact body count.
Very creepy. Some say that actions speak louder than words, and I think this is true. And so far, Cortana has manipulated Master Chief, so she is undoubtedly open to do this to others. She has threatened the galaxy, insulted Fireteam like a child, and on top of all that, now killed many species, including humans, awakening the Guardian. With all this information, we can clearly confirm that Cortana is willing to kill as many people as she needs to for her own agenda. One of the most curious speculation areas of Halo 6 is how Cortana will react when Master Chief actually begins to attack her and attack her Prometheans and begin to basically disobey her. Because we know that Master Chief has been a very objective person, although in Halo 5 he begins to do a lot of missions with Blue Team, he begins to overwork them in a sense, and he begins to kind of crack a little bit, and we see this foreshadowed a lot in Halo 5 with the loss of Cortana. Now this may be his way of grieving, and since she's alive, his grieving may stop, and he may see a great importance to save the galaxy instead of her Ancilia. And I don't think Master Chief would try to save Cortana over everybody in the galaxy. I think he has been a very objective person so far. But Cortana, on the other hand, this is sort of like a wild card kind of scenario, because if Master Chief is attacking Cortana, what will she do? Will she fight back? Because she has been an emotional and more a human person than most of the characters in Halo, but now in Halo 5, with her taking the mantle of responsibility, her personality has shifted to be more objective and more oriented than before. So for many of us, Master Chief and Cortana actually fighting may seem improbable or hard to imagine, at least for me. but it could very well happen given the circumstances. I mean, think about it, guys. Cortana has already voiced this is too important to stop, the mantle of responsibility, the reclamation. So perhaps when Cortana sees Master Chief and others trying to stop her and might actually stop her, well, she might just panic. She might just fight back against Master Chief in her own defense of the mantle of responsibility for the created. Now, for many reasons, especially since 343 spent so much time invested in Agent Locke, although that didn't stop them from killing Majul Matama right away in the most stupidest way possible, I think it's still very likely that Master Chief will be accompanied with Agent Locke against waves of Prometheans, Covenant 2.0, Ungoi, which are confirmed to work for Cortana, and others. But perhaps Chief's and Locke's ideas of defeating Cortana will differ. Perhaps Chief could want to talk her down from it, and Locke is to destroy her. On the other side, Cortana may want to befriend Chief, but like in Halo 5, Warden Eternal will send Prometheans after the Spartans. Perhaps Warden Eternal will act as the, once again, watchdog to Cortana. So we already know that Master Chief is now invulnerable to the Composer. As of Halo 4, Master Chief cannot be composed. But what about his darkest secret? And what about his many gifts? Well, the Librarian's gift was needed in Halo 4 for Chief to stop the Didact, a Forerunner, so the gift is undoubtedly going to assist Chief, if not be absolutely necessary as well when heading out to stop Cortana. But now I'm getting curious as to what other abilities or changes happened to Chief, or may happen soon, when first given this gift that was implanted inside him, and perhaps this will show in Halo 6. I mean, after all, the Librarian did say it included many gifts, more than one, more than just not being able to be composed, but more than that. If the Flood makes a big return in Halo, as already shown in Halo Wars 2, we may also discover Chief is invulnerable to the Flood, able to access the domain or Forerunner tech that would otherwise be off limits, DNA genetic changes more like those of Forerunners or superhuman. John's mind may grow beyond human levels into superhuman levels of intelligence and universal understanding as the Forerunners once did. So any and all of these things would give Chief an edge to defeating Cortana in Halo 6. Master Chief has been imprinted with Isodidact Skias, his darkest secret if you will, and given a new gene song by the Librarian. But what does this all mean, Chris? Well, some suggest that the Librarian had planned for a new domain, a new place for the newly advanced humans, such as Master Chief, to take the mantle of responsibility. Guilty Spark, as confirmed in many areas of the story other than this moment, said humans were the inheritor of all they left behind, and perhaps Chief is meant to be the mantle holder, somewhat in the position that Cortana is in, protector of the galaxy. Though it is hard to say that even if Chief manages to somehow enter the domain, it's hard to say that John would even accept the mantle, or even be able to do anything with it. So let's talk about Cortana for a moment. I'm sure you could tell, but by the end of Halo 5 Guardians, Cortana has a lot going for her. Cortana, as a quick recap, has the Guardians, Prometheans, Forerunner tech, hundreds of AI and colonies, Warden Eternal, pretty much unlimited supplies, limitless knowledge, and so much more. We're just scratching the surface of what Cortana has going for her. But that doesn't mean, even though despite all these things will be helping her, you know, with the mantle of responsibility and created stuff, doesn't mean she is invincible. Cortana has picked up a distaste towards Dr. Halsey, not only seen in the ending cutscene, but also in the gameplay where Cortana suggests that she will make her pay for her crimes.
I wouldn't ally myself too closely with Dr. Halsey, Mr. Locke. She will eventually pay for her crimes.
Now, this implies that Cortana will also seek out justice for those that she feels who are responsible for big or small crimes as she sees from her perspective. Dr. Halsey, seeing that she is the one that created Cortana, but also her extensive interest and curiosity of Forerunner tech and experience, will most likely be the only person that we know in the lore at this point that knows how to stop Cortana and the created, especially if the Janus key, seen in Halo 4 Spartanops, drops, a Forerunner relic that identifies all Forerunner tech in the galaxy falls into Dr. Halsey's hands. Assuming Master Chief is once again in prolonged contact with Dr. Halsey, basically a team, as well as the other characters seen in Halo 5, it's very exciting to say the least to see what they decide to do in the plan of action moving forward from here. So when you see a Halo 6 video, there's usually discussion about how it's going to get started and all the stuff that's going to happen in it, including this video. But what if, because I love talking about this kind of stuff, what if the battle actually ends in Halo 6? What happens when Cortana is actually defeated, assuming she is defeated? There isn't much to run off here. I'm sure you can understand, because we don't know anything really at this point. But what we do know is that the Ungoi have surrendered. Now, I already made a video talking a little bit about the new Covenant and the crazy beliefs that this new Covenant may have with Cortana, putting her up as a big goddess, as the ruler of them all. But the Sinkili, on the other hand, probably won't be joining this new Covenant 2.0 and are very likely going to be fighting back against the Created. And it sucks for them because they just got rid of the Covenant on Sinkilios, now they gotta deal with the Created. Especially with the Guardians knocking out Sinkilios, at least that's what it looks like by the end of Halo 5 Guardians. Now humanity, on the other hand, I predict will be a mixed bag, just like the elites. There could be some elites on the Covenant 2.0, but I do believe that it would be really cool if we got to see insurrectionists in a new perspective this time. Now, we've never really fought humans in Halo, but how cool would it be if a lot of humans decided to join Cortana's new Covenant regime to bring peace to the galaxy, seeing these humans fight along with Ungoi and elites and this splinter faction, maybe even among the banished, working as Cortana's hand, if you will. Well, if Cortana is defeated, it's very likely that this new regime, this new Covenant 2.0 that bowed its allegiance to Cortana, that served under the Created, will survive the collapse of the Created and the defeating of Cortana. However, they will still have the benefit of Cortana's arsenal of weapons and ships and tools and Forerunner access to take over the galaxy, such as the Guardians. Just like when the Prophets were killed for the Covenant, still many followed the Prophets' insane beliefs with split factions. Perhaps the same will happen when Cortana is defeated, with this new Covenant 2.0 consisting of all kinds of alien species and them trying to carry out Cortana's crazy beliefs in the mantle of responsibility. But what does it mean exactly for Cortana to be defeated? Well, most of us would jump to the idea of Cortana finally dying. Most of us thought that she died in Halo 4, but we turned out to be wrong. Now, it would be very interesting that if Cortana dies for a second time, but somehow she turns into a human rather than a digital life form, she becomes a physical life form, a human or some other, flesh-like sentient being, and she steps down from the mantle. Now, it would make perfect sense for Cortana to want to become a life form or human, because Cortana, many times throughout the series, longs to touch. She longs to see and feel, to express herself via hologram, even when nobody's watching. And there are many other signs that show Cortana with this great desire to become a human form.
I've waited so long to do that.
I know it because the emitter's Rayleigh effect is disproportionate to its suggested size. I know it because its stellar cycle is more symmetrical than that of an actual star. But for all that, I'll never actually know if it looks real. If it feels real.
And even in Halo 5, she gives herself some unnecessary but cool looking armor, and perhaps the foundation of her insanity and distorted perspective is a symptom of her rampancy, her logic plagued by the Gravemind in Halo 2, but also her deep longing to be real, to be a real sentient life form, to feel and to breathe like a real person. It would also be very interesting for an older version of Cortana to be activated to defeat the new evil Cortana seen in Halo 6. In Halo 4, Cortana says a classic line about which of them is a machine, and I think it's pretty cool, so let's reflect on this.
Before this is all over, promise me you'll figure out which one of us is the machine.
So all of this or none of this could be the case in Halo 6, but as a takeaway from this video, Master Chief's secret of possessing the Isodidact Skias along with the Librarian giving him unknown powers and many gifts will give John a real fighting chance any other Spartan wouldn't have when facing Cortana and any that side with her. And if Cortana is truly the bad guy in Halo 6, then she will truly be a powerful, terrifying opponent that we haven't seen in Halo for a long time, not only because of her armies, Prometheans, Guardians, and Celia AI, and near limitless Forerunner power, but also because she used to be a friend. And I think us consciously taking down Cortana is going to be a challenge, not for only us seeing Chief doing it, but for us as a player. It's gonna be cool. So guys, what do you think will happen in Halo 6? And what abilities would you like to see Chief have in the next game from the Librarian's gift? And how do you feel about all this? Let me know down in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this so we can talk about it in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, then please drop this video a like and check out our other Halo 6 videos if you ended up enjoying. I'm aiming for 3,000 likes on this video. Let's see if we can do it, guys. Alright, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.